under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, appreciate that, Mr. Stepp. Good job. Starting with the agenda tonight, we've had that before us. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda?
Mr. Council President, if I may make one request.
Sure.
On amendment number 5, if we could please postpone that to a later date. Ms. Dilley is not able to join us today.
Okay.
I didn't hear. Could
So
you
we're-
repeat?
Yeah.
Removing item 5 from the agenda.
Oh,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They
Second.
couldn't, okay. We got a motion and second to go ahead and amend the agenda. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky? Aye. Ms. Hay? Aye.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stepp. Okay, next on the agenda is the minutes of June 25th. We've had a chance to take a look at them. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes? Okay, hearing none, the chair moves that the minutes be accepted as unanimous consent. Okay, the disbursements of July 30th, August 6th, and August 13th. We've had a chance to take a look at them. Are there any deletions, corrections to the disbursements? Okay. Okay. Hearing none, the chair moves that the disbursements be accepted as unanimous consent. Okay. First on the agenda tonight would be an introduction to an amendment bill number 1577. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and do that for us, please?
I defer to County Attorney, Mr. Thomas.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. Okay.
Yes, this is a non-substantive amendment to Bill 1577. This simply includes the draft amendment to the road transfer agreement between State Highway Administration and the county as Exhibit A, and the road inspection and contribution agreement between Shore Health Systems and the county as Exhibit B. So these will then be posted on the county website as exhibits to that bill and available for public inspection prior to the public hearing on August 27th.
Okay. Sounds great.
And do we just need a show of hands for the amendment?
Yes.
For
For
introduction?
introduction, yes.
Introduction. Show of hands.
So introduced by Callahan, Stepp, Lesher, and Haith.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for that. Okay. Next on the agenda is introduction of legislation, bill to amend Charter 56. Madam Secretary.
A bill to amend Chapter 56, Electrical Standards of the Talbot County Code for the purposes of requiring electricians to obtain electrical permits from the Office of Permits and Inspections before performing certain electrical work, to delete outdated language, and to increase the amount for fines to be imposed for certain violations of Chapter 56, and to amend Chapter 58, Enforcement of Code, for the purpose of exempting Chapter 56 from the provisions thereof.
Okay. Mr. Thomas.
Yes, this bill was requested by the electrical board, and I drafted this
Yes, sir.
in working with them. And they've reviewed this and approved of it. Essentially, it establishes an electrical permit system for the county in Chapter 56 of the code. It also increases the fine amounts from $100 to $500 for an initial violation and $1,000 for a subsequent violation. And it removes some outdated language that changes as a result of some state law changes recently.
Okay. Okay, that sounds great. And by the way, I appreciate you working, because you've been a while working with the electrical board. I've been there several times, and I think we've come up with some really good solutions on a lot of that. So I think everybody there is happy with that, and I think it helps. Not only that, I think it helps the electrical contractors, and really steps them up to another level and of safety. So I really appreciate your good work. Okay.
Thank you.
So a show of hands.
And under this modernized language, I'll no longer be allowed to fry myself by installing my own outlets in my addition.
There you go. There you go. And you won't get a fine. Okay.
Well, I'm not going to do something that I'm not allowed to do.
Okay. Okay. All right. Show of hands.
Introduced by council.
Okay.
This will be known as Bill number 1578, and the public hearing will be on Tuesday, September 10th at 5:30 p.m.
Okay, that's good. Okay, next, we got, I think we're not quite ready. We're ahead of schedule. So we're gonna have to do clay stuff.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good evening, council. We have no boards and committee appointments to bring to you this evening, so we'll jump right into requests. I asked Martha, to come forward. And Ray, you stand by if you wish. Council, we have a request from the Finance Office for approval of a United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, loan resolution related to the county's finance or refinancing of improvements to certain wastewater facilities in the county. It's the St. Michael's Wastewater Collection System Improvement. This is in follow-up to legislation that was introduced by council on July 23rd. We're requesting council approval to issue bonds in the principal amount of $88,000 for the St. Michael's Wastewater Collection System Improvements. Martha is here to add any additional information or answer any questions for you. And we have Ray as well.
Well, council, I mean, just for your all's, information, the Bill 1576, which is associated with the $88,000, this was done in cooperation with the town of St. Michael's. And the town of St. Michael's has actually provided the funding to the county to pay off that $88,000 for this loan. So once everything's closed, the county will then move forward to just go ahead and pay off the loan. So that's really no money out of the county's pocket.
Okay.
The only thing that I would add is that we've been working with bond counsel, and we've been coordinating with USDA, and this is one of the loan resolutions that they require as a part of their debt process.
Okay.
We're taking this loan, but paying it off immediately.
Correct.
And just so that you and the public know, what happens is that we received a loan and grant package from rural development, and you have to spend the funding, the loan funding first in order to get to the grant funding. So we have to basically go through the process of getting the loan wrapped up and closed, then we're able to access the grant funding.
Now that makes sense.
Yes.
Seems extraordinary to have to get a loan for $88,000, but that with your explanation of the process, that makes a lot more sense. Thank you very much.
And we have about $260,000 worth of grant out there, so.
Understood. And thank you for your diligent efforts in securing these funds that allow us to make these upgrades,
Thank you.
extend these services.
Okay, any other questions, council? No. Okay. Okay, we got a motion and
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to go and approve. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Great, thank you, council. And Ray Clark will stay up here with us. We have him for a couple more requests after this one. The first item is recommendation to award bid number 23-07, Talbot County Public Safety Complex Phase 1, Building Renovations, Easton, Maryland, Talbot County. Change order number 8, read in your agenda packet. Public Works requesting council approval for this change order in the amount of $2,866,613.92. The change order consists of construction of a sally port and all site work, including parking lots and stormwater management. Sufficient funds are in the budget, and Ray is here to add additional information for this and answer any questions.
For council and the public, basically this project was broken up into 3 phases. The first phase was a building improvements associated with the existing building. At that point, phase 2 was actually to build a sally port, and then the phase 3 was to build a garage and storage facility and site work. We're no longer moving forward with the garage and storage facility, so we've incorporated this change order has basically parts of phase 3 as well as phase 2 in that. In addition to that, we have worked with the contractor Willow Construction, and we have about $110,000 worth of contingency in this change order as well. So.
Okay.
And council, this is exciting. Phase 1 should be completed.
It's probably mid-September.
Right, so we are anticipating a move of the sheriff's office into the facility in October. And then with the construction of Sallyport, we hope to get that done next spring, and then we'll be able to activate the new 911 center in that facility. So it's exciting. Sheriff is looking forward to it.
Would you mind, Mr. Stepp, to explain to the public what the Sallyport means?
Yes,
Yeah.
the Sallyport is actually a garage, a two-door garage that you bring a police car in, shut the back door, and be able to bring a prisoner inside the facility in a secure area, and then be able to pull out. It also have an extra bay for storage of a vehicle in the event they have to impound a vehicle. So this is a necessary addition to the facility for the sheriff's office to conduct their business.
Yeah, sounds good. I appreciate that. Okay.
And Mr. Clark, the deletion of the garage, the pieces that are taken out, I saw that there's a reduction from previous change orders in here of 1.7. Is that reflecting those exclusions?
That is, yes. So I think if I'm not mistaken, the Sallyport was estimated to cost about $1.6 million, and then the garage and storage facility, I think, was about 1.7 to a little more than 1.7. So yes, it does eliminate that garage component.
Okay, but the Sallyport is a little bit more complicated than originally envisioned, and hence the need for this change order.
It was actually not part of the overall package. We did not receive our building permits yet for the Sallyport, so we had to go through that process of securing the building permit. At the same time, working with Willow and Davis Bonfordell to get that proposal to go ahead and build that Sallyport. That was not part of the original contract amount.
Fair enough. Okay, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions, council? Okay. Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky? Aye. Ms. Hayes?
The next Ray's gonna be here, or Ray's here to
I'm
ask.
sorry, Mr. Stamp, just
excuse me,
one final.
Sure.
I think this was stated before, but this remains within the project budget, the
Yes, sir.
Sallyport.
Yes, sir. And I think
The overall project budget.
And we've worked with finance office and the county manager's office. This is also within the, I guess, the funds that were borrowed through the bond. So that's been we've worked that out with them.
I think I heard that elsewhere. I just wanted that out on the public record, that remains, with this change, it remains within the project
It is,
budget.
yes.
Thank you. So Ray is here to ask council's permission to award bid number 2208, Architectural Engineering Services for Talbot County Department of Public Works for road widening and drainage improvements on Black Dog Alley from Dover Road to west of Hosewell's Branch. You'll read in your packet that this would be an award to Wallace Montgomery in the amount of $347,152.70 for the design work and preparation of a federal aid package for the road widening and drainage improvements. And again, Ray Clark's here to add any additional information or answer any questions.
And I think working with the sheriff's office, the southern portion of Black Dog Alley is the most needed section of roadway that needs to be upgraded, widened, as well as having drainage improvements. Primarily from this traveling public is the widening component. This was what we've done is we had Wallace Montgomery do a full-blown corridor design between Matthewstown Road, or 328, and 331. So that's been done up to a 50%. This is now taking that southern portion and having that all done so we can secure our permits and also go for the funding to have that section of roadway improved. So this is the design to take us up to the 100% design for that southern portion of Black Dog Alley.
If they design this to meet all those federal specifications, what will be the federal share of funding for the project?
We are seeking, that'll be something we'll be going to the USDOT to try and seek as much as we can. I don't know. Typically, the process has always been that you would have to go to the state in order to seek funding from the feds. But with the infrastructure bill, they have now opened that door for locals to go directly to the U.S. Department of Transportation. Typically, federal funding, if it was a federal aid project, is 80-20. It's usually 80% Fed funds and 20% local funds, but I'm not aware how this funding package works.
Thank you.
So just so the public knows, it's from Dover Road all the way to the branch where that new culvert was put in?
Yes, exactly,
Okay.
correct.
Mhm.
Just,
So that's
just south, just before you get to that culvert.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, any other questions, council? Yep. Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion, a second, to go ahead and move forward with the widening of the road of Black Dog Alley. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote, please?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Council finally raised here to ask for your consideration of award design services under bid number 2208, architectural engineering services for Talbot County Department of Public Works for a new culvert under Chapel Road. As you read in your packet, they're requesting council approval to award Davis, Bowen, and Friedel Incorporated a design proposal in the amount of $117,500 for a new culvert under Chapel Road. And again, Ray's here to answer any questions or add any information.
And this is the culvert closest to Klondike Road. So ultimately, the county in the past has had issues with this culvert flooding. So this is basically look at putting in a new culvert, or possibly a box culvert, raising the road a little bit so we no longer have that flooding. It also, that culvert has a large drainage area, so we have to do a drainage area analysis to determine how big that culvert or box culvert needs to be, so we don't have as much flooding in that area. So that's the, and then once we have that, we'll work to apply for the permits with MDE, and then hopefully utilize the permit as our bid package, and then put that out for bid. So at this point in time, we're working to have this. I did work with Brian Moore on this, and this is one of those problem areas that Brian has identified, Brian Moore, the road superintendent, that we do have an issue with flooding.
And when do you expect, you might have said I wasn't paying attention, when do you expect to start that job?
This one, I would probably say it's taking us about 12 months to get the permits, so it probably would be next year before we went
Okay.
out, so,
Okay.
for construction.
So, and then would the road be shut down for a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you more information about how
Okay.
long. I don't know at this point, so how long we're
Okay,
talking
no
about.
problem. Okay. Any other questions, council?
That would just be Klondike Road?
This is actually,
This
it'd be
it's on
Chapel Road.
Chapel.
Chapel
Yeah,
Road.
it's
Uh,
Chapel.
Near the
Yeah.
intersection of Klondike.
Right,
Yeah.
at the intersection. of
Yeah,
Klondike,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's just west of Klondike,
Okay.
where Klondike comes into Chapel
Yep.
Road.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just there. It's kind of a low spot area.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite familiar with this stretch of road. This is the stretch that my scout troop does an annual litter cleanup along. So I've seen every inch of that stretch of county road. I'll move approval.
Okay,
Second.
okay. Got a motion second, to go ahead and put the new culvert in on Black Dog Alley. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Thank you,
Hey,
council.
one thing, Ray, I meant to ask you, and it just hit me. When we're doing Black Dog Alley, what's your expected time for that road to be closed?
That's a good question. I think the key would be is it depends how we do this construction.
Okay.
We could potentially do the construction where it's, maybe we do the widening component, and then ultimately we still maintain two-way traffic on
I
there.
got you.
And
Okay.
then we can then have that section paved and then come back over and then redo the existing roadway.
I see.
It could be one way, at some point, but we'll have to kind of
Okay.
play that out with the
Okay.
maintenance of traffic.
That sounds great. I appreciate it.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Thank you, Ray. Council, that completes your county manager report for this evening. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. All right,
10 minutes.
got a few minutes here.
You want to move on to comment?
Yeah, I was gonna say, could we do public comment? Is it? Yeah. You want- Is anybody, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Martha. Okay.
I thought she was getting up for public comment.
Yeah. Nobody signed up? Okay. All right, at this time, would anybody like to come up for public comment? Okay. All right, we're running out of things here to say, you know? So,
10-minute recess.
10 minutes, you know?
Council
All
comments.
right.
Council comment?
We could do council comments.
We can do council comments, and yep, okay. We'll start over here to my right, Mr. Stepp. You want me to start to the left?
No.
Okay.
I just did the Lynn, I said, I don't have any council comments.
You got 10 minutes, Dave.
No pressure. No pressure. I had one thing. Give me just a second here. If anyone else has,
Mr. Lusher, you can
yeah,
go.
you go. Pete, take us away. Yeah.
Well, I'll simply start off by saying that I look forward to the Maryland Association of Counties MACO conference this week. It is an opportunity for me, for other council, for staff to do a lot of our continuing education, to learn best practices in county government, to see what is being done in the way of innovative practices in other governmental bodies, largely across Maryland, but often we see speakers too who are national at MACO as well. MACO has a program with the University of Maryland called the Academy for Excellence in Local Government that is a sort of boot camp for council members to get up to speed with everything from risk management and county budgeting to ethics. And open meetings and the Public Information Act, all of which I've taken, some of them multiple times, because frankly, they're really good courses, and there are some of those things do change with case law over time. I'm thinking particularly of the Open Meetings Act, which I've gone back to take updates on. Look forward always to this opportunity to better learn how to better serve our constituents here in Talbot County.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lusher. Lynn?
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
The Sunday before last, I had the great pleasure of attending the Farm Bureau annual picnic. And it was great to mingle with and converse with the farmers of Talbot County, to appreciate all their good works and their good food, like the corn and the crabs and the chicken. And what also stood out for me is there were several young ladies there who are involved in agriculture. And there was this one gal there, a fourth grader, who had done a number of projects, but the one that impressed us most was how she raised her own yellow tomatoes, which they served that were out of this world. And it just encouraged me that, you know, agriculture in Talbot County is still here and it's not going anywhere. So it was great. And they deserve a lot of credit, and I don't think they get as much recognition as they should. So I want to give a shout out to the Farmers Bureau.
That's good. Great. That's great.
I got one.
Dave,
I got one. I'll just, I'll throw out a thank you to the residents of Tunis Mills. Last week, we had met with, you know, a lot of concerned residents over the bridge replacement project that we're all considering. It was great to have the feedback from all of them and just hear what they have to say, hear their feedback, hear their thoughts, hear their, you know, on what they would like to see in a, you know, in a new, improved bridge. So, shout out to all of them.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay. Anything else?
I echo what Dave said.
Okay.
Glad about that.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good meeting.
Yeah, it was a great meeting. I guess all that's on my mind, the next time I'll be up here in this seat, I'll be married. Because I'm going to be getting married.
Congratulations.
Yep, I'm getting married in a couple weeks. So we've been together for 11 years, and there was a lot of heat there. So
About time, Chuck.
about time. You know, all the women know that. So you know, so I had to take care of all that. That's for sure. So
You said a lot of heat, right?
it's a lot of heat.
I'm
A lot
gonna
of heat.
tell Julie.
Well, she knows it. She put it on me. Julie put it on me, that's for sure. So, but no, she's a good girl, so. All right, well, I did go fishing 2 weeks ago in Montana. Went fly fishing for the first time ever. So that was phenomenal. So I did that a few weeks ago with a bunch of guys. That's a whole nother story. That could take a while if I told that one. So, but it was 10 head of us, and we had a great time. But up in Montana, we were fishing in a place called, it was called Craig, and it only had 47 people, the population in the town. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and that country is a lot of, it's beautiful up in the mountains and stuff. So we stayed up in a lodge. So it was really cool. So I'd never been there before. So it was a lot of fun. So it's quick. It was quick from Thursday to Sunday. So it was cool. So other than that, yeah, go, yep. Go ahead, County
So
Manager.
I could talk real
Yeah,
slow
yeah.
and
Yep.
give you an update on Airport Road.
There you go. Please do
I-
that.
I would like to, and I'm sure council feels the same way, thank the public for their, the inconvenience
Yeah.
that they've experienced over on Airport Road the
Yeah.
last couple weeks. But
Yeah.
our roads department has been working feverishly to address that road. It's known as kind of a treacherous stretch of road in the county.
Yeah.
And so our roads department crews have been out there working. They've widened the shoulder a little bit on each side, and they'll be bringing Bramble in as a contractor to do an overlay on that road. So we're excited about that.
Right.
And we have a few more weeks to get that done, and but there's good progress.
I'm glad you brought that up because Micah sent an email out to all of us to help us understand from just down from the community center. They're taking dirt and hauling it to the airport for fill for the airport runway.
Right.
So
There's a lot going
Yeah.
on in that
Yeah.
quadrant of the town. And they're borrowing topsoil or
Yeah.
fill dirt.
Fill dirt,
From
yeah.
off a property just north of the airport, and it's coming down, and it's, you saw the staff that Micah
Yeah.
stood next to.
Yeah.
Of where that runway has to build up, and it
Right.
looked like it was some 15 feet. So there's a lot of dirt moving down there, but,
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of work in on the roads and make improvements. Talk about culvert pipes. Our roads department replaced a number of culvert pipes along Airport Road, Goldsboro Road, Halem School Road, Heiners Lane.
right.
And those are simple culvert replacements. Unfortunately, because of the complexity and the amount of flooding on Chapel Road, it's gonna take, one of these box culverts. It takes
Right.
longer. But anyway, just wanted to give a little bit
Thank you.
of an update.
Yeah, and Ray, we really appreciate all the work you're doing on these roads because there's going to be so many people happy with Airport Road and Goldsboro Neck because we're going to put a new layer of pavement on that, and you'll have that. I'm assuming that's going to happen probably in the next month, 6 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Ray's done a great
Yeah,
job.
he has.
Brian Moore's crew.
Yeah.
And Brian's so attentive to his crew out there, to make sure that they're addressed with the heat.
Right.
They have plenty to hydrate with and what have you,
Right.
because it was brutal a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, but they're a dedicated group of folks out there working, so we're very fortunate.
Go ahead.
It is now
Yep.
5:30.
Is it 5:30? Uh-oh, Pete's in a hurry now.
And it took me that time to think of something.
I got you. Okay. All right. Let me see now. All right. So what we've got now, the public hearing, we've got, Madam Secretary, you want to go ahead and, it's resolution 361.
Resolution number 361, a resolution to amend the Talbot Family Network bylaws to provide for a treasurer's designee to attend meetings in the treasurer's absence.
Did I? Okay. Thank you. You might be right. Mr. Thomas, you want to go ahead and explain that?
Yes, this resolution was requested by the Talbot Family Network Board. It simply, as the title states, it simply allows the treasurer to appoint a designee to represent them at any meeting at which they are unable to attend.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay. So at this time, we'll go ahead and, sorry, I'm confused. Okay,
So
yeah.
we do have Nancy Andrew from the Talbot Family Network
Right.
here, if you might want her to explain the rationale for this.
Yeah, Nancy,
this
could you come
resolution.
on up? That'd be good, while I kind of get my act together here.
Good evening.
Yep.
Nancy
There we
Andrew,
go.
Director of Talbot Family Network. So this is really just an administrative change to the bylaws that the Talbot Family Network Board of Directors has approved, but we're required to bring that to council for final approval. So our current bylaws allow all of our other ex officio members of our board to send a designee, but we didn't have that letter language in the bylaws for the finance director, who also serves as our treasurer. So given staffing changes in the finance department, it seemed like a great opportunity to bring in the additional resource of a designated member.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? And I just want to comment too, Nancy, of all the hard work you do, you
Thank
know,
you.
and I mean, you do a lot of hard work, and I can't make all your meetings. I wish I could, but I just want to commend you with all, you know, your staff and the board members and all that stuff, because that's a lot of work, and you take care of a lot of things and get us grants and work on all that stuff for the community, and it means a lot to us. It
Thank
really
you.
does. You do a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, there is no staff but me, so.
Okay, right, yeah.
We have a great board of directors.
Okay, good. So, okay, so at this time, we'll go ahead and open it up to the public, and I'll give you 3 minutes for individuals and 5 minutes if you're representing somebody. So at this time, I'll open it up, and here to my left here, does anybody want to come up and talk about Resolution 361? Okay? Okay, and over here to my right is Martha. Okay? Yeah, come on up.
Sure. Martha Sparks, Finance Director. I just thought I'd give some clarification here. Our Assistant Finance Director, Caitlin Foster Clark, is overseeing the grants in the county. And while TFN is their own, theirs is a very large grant with the state of Maryland. So we were looking for, it made a lot of sense for Caitlin to be able to come in and attend those meetings when necessary. So that's a lot, that's really what prompted this.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you, appreciate it. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Okay, at this time, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing, and it's eligible for vote. Any discussion? Council? Okay.
This is pretty simple and straightforward.
Yep, yeah, sure is, yep, okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lusher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes? Aye.
Okay, that sounds good. And, Mr. Stepp, are we straight?
I believe so.
Okay, okay, I just wanted to make sure. So I guess at this time, Mr. Lusher, you want to go ahead and,
No, we got
We have one more bill.
oh, do we have
One
one?
more public hearing.
Yeah.
Oh, we do? Okay. Is that the one you were talking about?
Might want to ask the secretary to.
I'm sorry.
It's Bill 1576.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah, it's the second one, but
It's the second one. It's the second one. You screwed up. I thought you were
No,
talking
this
about
is the
1577, but it's 1576.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, would you mind?
this for the USDA.
Yeah, yeah, it's, yeah. Okay,
Bill number 1576, a bill to authorize Talbot County, Maryland, the county, to borrow not more than $88,000 in order to finance and refinance improvements to certain wastewater facilities in the county, and to effect such borrowing by the issuance and sale of one or more series of its general obligation bonds payable from ad valorem taxes to be levied by the county, exempting the bonds from the provisions of sections 19205 and 19207 of the local government article of the annotated code of Maryland, authorizing the consolidation of separate series of bonds into one or more bonds, authorizing the refunding of such bonds, and relating generally to the issuance and sale of such bonds for such purposes.
Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and open it to the public on this, and like I was telling you, if you're single, if you're individual, yeah, I'll give you 3 minutes, and if you're representing an organization, I'll give you 5. So I'll go ahead and open it up on 1576, sorry. So anybody would like to come up and talk about 1576, please come on up. Okay.
I don't think we have any takers.
I don't think we do either. So, okay. At this time, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing on 1576. And at this time, it's sort of eligible for the third reader. So, we can go ahead and vote on moving it to the third reader.
You need a motion to move it to third reader.
Yes, sir.
I will, we already have an explanation of this. I think that there's no reason to postpone the vote on this to another meeting. And so I will move that Bill 1576 be taken to third reader.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to take it to third reader. Madam Secretary?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. Now we're at third reader.
Bill number 1576, a bill to authorize Talbot County, Maryland, the county, to borrow not more than $88,000 in order to finance and refinance improvements to certain wastewater facilities in the county, and to effect such borrowing by the issuance and sale of one or more series of its general obligation bonds payable from ad valorem taxes to be levied by the county, exempting the bonds from the provisions of sections 19205 and 19207 of the local government article of the annotated code of Maryland, authorizing the consolidation of separate series of bonds into one or more bonds, authorizing the refunding of such bonds, and relating generally to the issuance and sale of such bonds for such purposes.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I think we're ready for a vote.
Okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote on 1576?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. All right, I think we're getting close now. I think we're ready for you, Mr. Lesher.
The County Council's next meeting will be held on Tuesday, August 27th, beginning at 5:00 p.m. The council will be convening an open session at 2:30 p.m. for a tentative work session on a proposal to amend the accommodations tax for Talbot County, and then adjourning into closed session as listed on the statement for closing that meeting. Therefore, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting and reconvene as noted?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to adjourn. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, enjoy your evening. Thank you guys for coming.